Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome back to another video podcast. This is Misa.
And this is Yuka.
And welcome to the Misa Yuka podcast. Woo! So last week we had our first offline event.
Right.
Yeah, that was so cool. And thank you so much for everyone who participated. I made a little reel on our Instagram to see what we did. We had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did a live podcast that night. So that was really cool. We got to see everyone live in our talk, and it was just talking to you guys. Was that live. So that was very exciting. We want to do it again in the future. So for those of you who participated this time, thank you so much. And we made a great memory together.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today we'll be delivering our live podcast on this episode, and I have subtitled everything. So yeah, please enjoy. That's all. Here we go. Yay. Okay.
Welcome back to another video podcast. This is Misa.
And this is Yuka.
And welcome to the Misa Yuka podcast. Alright, we're back on this channel and we're live, everyone. Are we excited? Yes? Yeah, we're nervous but excited, but mostly nervous. Just kidding. I think Yuka's nervous and then I'm excited.
so nervous.
Yeah, Yuka's I'm nervous, but
yeah. Shout out to the INFJs for coming here.
yeah. Who's an INFJ here?
Wow.
Oh, there's a lot. You know, compatibility-wise, ENFPs and INFJs are really good.
Yeah.
So,
If you're an ENFP.
yeah, ENFPs, INFJ, yeah, we can all match and mingle. All right. Okay, so actually, we were thinking about what to talk about today, right? And for the longest time, we didn't know.
Yeah. We thought about this last 3 a.m. last night.
Last night, 3 a.m., we were having a little night pod talk together, and we were like, what should we talk about?
Yeah.
But then we got into a really, really deep conversation.
It was really deep.
Really deep. And it was mostly because Yuka is
Reading a book.
reading a book right now. Yeah. I'm not a big book reader. I'm more of a podcast listener. I like to listen to podcasts all the time. But Yuka is very introspective lately. So she's I want to, she was sharing about this very inspirational book. And we were yeah, we can talk about it. I think it's really inspirational. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we actually made slides today.
Yeah, we made slides.
Yeah.
This is so weird because we never make slides. We kind of, talk about things off of our head.
Yeah. We don't plan anything.
Nothing is scripted.
Nothing is scripted.
This is scripted.
Yeah. This is a little bit scripted because, we thought we would be a little nervous,
Yeah.
Yeah. But most of our video podcasts are never scripted.
Mm-hmm.
And we always film on Mondays. Monday nights are our podcast filming nights. And we have dinner.
This is how it goes. Misa feeds me.
Yeah, I feed her.
And then she says, what do you want to talk about? Because I can talk about anything. You can't talk about anything.
I don't say that, but yeah.
But yeah, it goes like that. And then we come up with something.
Yeah, we come up with something and then we try to come up with a good conclusion, a good message.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the videos that we have posted earlier has been a miracle, kind of.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so today we want to talk about how to not live a mediocre life. So mediocre means a normal life. But then when I was in high school, I asked my teacher, what is mediocre? Like, what does it mean? Is it good or is it bad? Is it good to be, normal? And my English teacher told me, like, is it okay? Do you want to be normal? Right? I was like, I don't know if I want to be normal. I want to be unique, nice. So mediocre is, I guess, it has a negative connotation, a negative vibe to the word, right?
But it's not
Spectacular.
It's not negative.
Yeah,
It's neutral, right? Isn't
I
it?
think mediocre. What do you guys think? Do you think mediocre is like negative or neutral? I think it's like pretty on the negative side. I
It
think
was like neutral. And then your extraordinary is so positive.
right
But I feel like mediocre shouldn't be like a negative
thing.
right? That's,
I have a different take on that.
Okay.
Okay, but anyways, we can talk about it later. But do you want to share about this book that you're reading, Yuka?
Yeah, so I wanted to wake up earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I can't wake up. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not like, I can't wake up and be excited to start the day. I'm like, I still want to sleep. So I wanted to change my morning schedule. And so I picked up this book called The Miracle Morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I would, and I think it was Mel Robbins.
Yeah.
She told me that this book will help you get up earlier in the morning.
Right. Do you guys know the Mel Robbins podcast? We always mention it in our podcast. There's this life coach, motivational speaker called Mel Robbins, and she has a podcast. And we always listen to it to get inspiration for our podcast too. And so, yeah, and then I guess she was introducing about it, right?
Yeah. And then I thought I would learn about, like, your morning routine, how to become a morning person. But the first few pages, I think it was like building up to that point, but it was talking about like 95% of like the society never creates and lives a life that they really want, and they live a mediocre life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't really learning about, morning routines. This hit me really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh wait, I don't want to live a mediocre life. And I feel like me not waking up early in the morning is me living a mediocre life, because that's not the life I want to live. It really depends on what you value in life, like what kind of life you want, and then you kind of have to figure out if that's, if you're living a mediocre life. Does that make sense? Like,
No.
If you're like,
I'm like trying to catch up with him, like,
聞いといてね。
Right.
結局どこに価値観を置くかっていう感じじゃない、その人生どういう風に生きたいかによって、なんか今自分の人生いい感じに生きてるか、なんかちょっと変えたいなみたいな思うかみたいな。
Right.
So そこの価値観の違いだと思うんだけど、but I felt like I wasn't living a mediocre, or I felt like I was living a mediocre life.
Right, and you were like, you felt like you weren't putting out your fullest potential
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah, because I was waking up so late.
Right. Like, why
Yeah.
is like having a good morning routine related to having a good life?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What is this?
What is this? What is this?
Okay, you need to design your life. That's
Right.
what it's saying. Like,
Okay.
it just doesn't like come to you,
Mhm.
right?
I think so. Because like when I first started video and all these things, I was working at a corporate just out of undergrad, and I mean I thought that was my rail, kind of like graduate from a good university and then go to be part of a really good company and then work there. But then I just felt that I felt really stuck. I remember drawing on a piece of paper how I felt. It was a cliff that like kind of ended here, and then I was at the tip of the cliff, and then at the bottom it was an alligator trying to eat me, and I just felt that way. I just felt that I was at the
really
tip
hard.
of the cliff, and there was no path in front of me, right? So that's when I think I talked about this on a YouTube video, like maybe in a different one, but I hired a coach, and then I finally was taught that you have to carefully design your life. When you hop on a train, you kind of arrive there, right? And you don't have to think about how to arrive there because you're on the train, and it's gonna, take you to the destination automatically. So I was an autopilot. I was in automatic mode when I was just like working at a company, and I was like, I realized I really need to carefully design, like intentionally, how to have a good life. Right? Should we go to the next one? But these are the causes
of mediocrity, and this is why you may be feeling like you have a sense, or if you have like a sense that your life is a little bit mediocre. And these are just the causes, and we're gonna like talk about each one of them one by one.
Is this like, it's like it was like a new concept for me, but I think I related to each one. So we can go about it.
I don't think this is like nothing, it's nothing new though.
Yeah.
Like people tell us this, but then I don't know. Maybe I was just like in a point where I like this really like spoke to me.
Like the rear view mirror syndrome. I don't know, like I don't know how to explain this, but when you always look in the past and see that like the past you is the you right now, believing in that.
Yeah. So it's just a limiting belief system.
Yeah. I think for me, I was like in this like limiting self-belief system where the past me, where I was, just like living life, that was me. But then I realized like in order to change your life, kind of like you have to do something different, right? Because like what you've been doing in the past, if you keep on repeating that, you're gonna get the same results, right? And so you have to be like, you can't be like the rear view. You have to be looking at the forward view.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm always looking at the mirror.
Like the past.
Like this is me, so I don't think I can do that. Like for example, I don't really like. I'm not like 100% extrovert, so I feel really uncomfortable going to like big events. Like this. So then I would be like, oh, I don't really like a lot of like, like a big gathering. So I would get really shy and I probably won't have a good time. But then that's kind of like a limiting belief system, I think. It's like if I go, I actually have a really like fun time. So I think this is like what it is. Like I'm always looking at the back. But but if you do it,
Like you meet a new you.
Yeah.
Because like for me with like content creation, there's always the creative side and there's also a business side to it, right? Because we can't just be, like creators, like we can't just be like creating content and then, people do 9 to 5s and content creation or they, but most of the time they have kind of their businesses, right? I thought I was really bad with the business side because I don't know, I've never done it before or I'm not really good with like, I've never done management for like a company. I just worked at a company, right? But then I realized that you have to kind of like really get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then be kind of like, be okay with doing something really different. Right?
Because you're just a beginner.
Yeah. Do you guys remember this? Like, we're just a beginner with everything. So we have to be able to be okay with like not doing so well.
Yeah.
Right? This is the rear mirror syndrome. Oh, this is a really deep one.
A lack of purpose.
Lack of purpose. This is the saddest. No, not the saddest.
But I guess like we're missing the why. I feel like, I don't know, for me, it's just like I don't have enough time to think about this. We live day to day, like looking at what's in front of us. Like, you remember how you said yesterday, you're like, I'm always looking at the future. Like, I don't look at the things that's in front of me. But for me, I look at what's due tomorrow.
Right.
And then I end up like not knowing what I want to do in life.
Right.
Because I'm not really sorting that out. And then that's why I'm like, oh, another day, another work, another day.
Right. And then and then you like forget about your purpose. Like why are you doing that?
Like why am I working? That's like the thing.
Yeah.
Is this building the life that I want to build? And like that's like so big that like it's really hard to think about, and I feel like I procrastinate on that.
Because
Like,
you don't.
I put it off and not think about it because it's so big.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, actually, just in case you're forgetting why we're talking about this, just in case, we're like talking about like the 7 reasons why people end up living a life that they don't really want. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're talking about like these are the reasons why.
Yeah.
And the third reason was the lack of purpose. And I think this is like hard if you're so busy, right?
Yeah.
Like we're so busy every day, right? Like we're working, we have due dates, like we have deadlines to make. We have like a dog to feed.
Yeah. I have to walk my dog.
Yeah, like, actually, and it's hard. It's a hard job, right?
Yeah.
But for me, actually, so there's this like thing about the maximizer, and then the person who like looks in the future. I think like for me, as my personality, I look in the future a lot, and so I'm like, oh, what kind of person do I want to be? You know, I'm like always kind of up in my head. I'm not really a down to earth kind of person who just does day-to-day tasks.
Yeah, me too. Daydreaming all day.
Yeah, I'm like daydreaming all day, which is bad. Like I have deadlines.
Yeah.
I have deadlines, and then I don't do them sometimes because I'm daydreaming. You know, I'm like always thinking about like why am I doing this or like what could be. So also like I don't think that's really good either.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think it's good?
I think it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
I think it's really important to think about it. But then also you have to take action on top of like what you know. Really, like not just daydreaming. Right. Where I just stop, but I think we're kind of like.
But I think this is really hard.
Yeah.
Don't you think this is so hard? I think you can't stop and think. I think you have to keep on walking and keep on running while you think. So when we stop and think, we don't get the answer ever. And so you're always, you're kind of stuck. But then for this in particular, we have to keep on running and doing our own day-to-day things, but still in parallel to that, still make the time to be able to think about it. I think just like being able to think about it and like putting it in your head somewhere every day is so important, right?
And it doesn't have to be like a, like forever, my life purpose forever. It's like
it can
life
change.
Purpose for a month,
Yeah.
And that can be like, and they said that you can choose, like you can make it up, right? Like you can copy someone else's too. For example, the best one is to become a better version of yourself. So why did you make that?
Because it's like very
the better
vague.
version of yourself, really?
Like for example, what?
For example, like for me, a better version is like someone who's like healthy, like exercises, goes to the gym, like is disciplined. That's like a really like a better version of myself that I can't. It's really hard for me. But I feel like just by having that kind of template, I can kind of like wake up in the morning, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be like a life goal kind of thing. I'm waking up to save the world.
Yeah.
Right. I think it can be, I am trying to be fit for the summer. Right. That's a very smaller goal, and that can be something. You don't have to be like, wake up in the morning like I'm saving the world. You don't have to be that.
Yeah, that's really big.
It's really big.
Yeah.
You have to start small for this. Okay. And then what else did he say was, this is hard. The isolating incidents. I did not understand it. And then I asked ChatGPT to translate it in a very easy Japanese. So this is when we say like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's me.
You guys are the same, yeah. Me too sometimes. Like, I'll make that video tomorrow.
Yeah, I won't hit the snooze button tomorrow.
I don't say that. I always hit the snooze button.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a morning routine.
Hitting the snooze button when you say you're gonna wake up at 7 a.m. and then you wake up at 7:30 a.m. That's also a morning routine that we have, and that's what like Mel Robbins also talked to us about. But yeah, this thing, like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get another day.
Yeah, but then you become that person.
Mm-hmm. And this is a spiraling effect. And then I'll do it tomorrow, and then the next day comes, I'll do it another day.
That's been happening to me. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
About what?
About waking up in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
right.
like, oh, I won't hit the snooze button tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like end up, I'll probably wake up, 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's like 8.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep doing it. I always say like, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. And then that just keeps happening. I don't think I've been for like a month now.
Yeah, I quit the gym. I quit the gym, the other day. But that's good. I think you have your intentions. For me, I don't even think about it. And then it just becomes, I think, like, you're on a good rail because you're actually calling it out in your head. You're like, oh, I'm doing that.
Conscious.
Yeah, you're really conscious. But, like, for me, I think I'm, like, not conscious.
Oh.
Yeah. So that, I think that's a really big problem. Everything is kind of like, when the days are cloudy, like, not like the weather, but when you're like every day becomes a little cloudy, and then you're like, you're not really intentionally living each day. Like, today I'll do this. Today I'll do this. Like, if you're just kind of going autopilot. Autopilot means like when you're just your brain is automatic. You're just doing the motions. Oh, you're going to work. You're getting dinner. You're not doing anything new or something intentional for a purpose. Mm-hmm. I think that's when it gets scary.
Right. Because you're not really thinking.
Yeah, I'm scared for myself now. Yeah, with this spiraling.
Yeah,
effect.
like I always think I'll just do it over. I'll get a do-over, but then if that happens if that kind of repeats itself for like a year.
Yeah. Because did you know we only have 34 weeks left in this year?
So, yeah, you knew?
You knew? Wow, you knew?
Google tells me about the 32 weeks or 33 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a setting?
Yeah.
There's a setting you can do
Yeah.
it? I should have that setting. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, 34 weeks?
That's so short.
Until Christmas and Santa comes?
Yeah. Until 2026, right?
Yeah.
So
that's when, like, I'm gonna go off on a tangent really quickly, but that's when I realized I need to say no to the things that I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Right? What do you guys think? Like, I think, I say I'm a yes man. I say yes to a lot of things because I'm a maximizer, right? If I'm given 24 hours, I want to be doing the work that'll probably cost me 28 hours, right? But then I have to realize, like, is this really going to take me to, like, what I really want? And so if we only have 34 weeks, I was like, I need to start saying no to the stuff that I'm like, and then saying yes to the things that I'm like, hell yes, We have to, like, start deciding what to say yes to because we only have, like, 34 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And then if we do this every single day, we're wasting so much time.
You're probably tired from saying yes to a lot of things, and then you say this.
and then that happens.
And then that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So saying no.
Yeah, because my brain is so fatigued.
Yeah.
Brain fatigue. Do you guys know about that? Brain fatigue? Like when your brain is so tired from making all these decisions every day. How many decisions do we make a day?
Like over
50,000, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's like what to drink today. Yeah, you guys made a decision, right? There's a lot of decisions that we make, and all these decisions add up, and then it tires our brain, and then that is called brain fatigue. When you're brain fatigued, you're like, yeah, I'll just do it tomorrow, and then I'll just do it tomorrow, and then boom, we're getting presents for our friends for Christmas.
Yeah. The year's gonna end soon. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, we don't want to, like, scare everyone, but let's, like, go on.
Yeah.
We're not, like, here to scare everyone. This is just, like, the reasons why, right? Lack of accountability. So accountability is, like, the feeling of being responsible. right? So when a teacher says, do your homework, your teacher is accountable, right?
Yeah.
For your homework. Your teacher is going to say, did you do your homework? And then if you don't do your homework, you're going to get in trouble or you're not going to get a good grade.
Mm-hmm.
But the accountability thing, that only, I think, ends, or no, that only like, that ends after university.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't really end.
I guess
guess,
if
like,
you're working.
If you're working, you have your boss really accountable for you, right? But life-wise, no one's accountable for you.
Yeah, like the way you live.
Yeah,
like,
your lifestyle, how much money you make, like what kind of life you design. No one's accountable. Like no one's gonna be like, oh, so how is your life design?
How's
Right?
your morning routine?
How's your
going?
morning routine?
Did you exercise today? Like no one's gonna say that to you at work.
Yeah, as adults, right?
Or like, how's your like? Are you gonna start your new brand? Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna start like something new? Like, no one's gonna tell you that.
Yeah, you have to be really accountable for yourself. And I was this person. I was not I was like not responsible for myself. I always get like swayed very quickly with like decisions. So if Yuka's like, oh, let's do this, I'm like, oh, okay, and then forget, what I had to do, and then I blame it on Yuka.
Yeah.
Right?
Why?
Yeah, why? Right? Like I have to take responsibility for my own decisions, but I don't really do that. And I think it really relates to this. Because every choice that we make is like we need to be responsible for it. And like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I was like blaming my mom, my dad, like everyone, Yuka, like for all the decisions. Like why did I, start working at this corporate? It's like your freaking decision, right? So
this is so important though, I think, for me too.
Yeah.
Like I love to design things, I want to create things, but then if there's not really like a event or something like this, I wouldn't do it,
Right.
And
do you
then
guys have that same thing?
Having that like friend or like a person who pushes you to do that thing.
Like me?
Yeah, like you. Like you always
I'm always asking
You're
you.
always on top.
I'm like Yuka?
Did you do this? Yeah, you're always like that. So I think having this type of person or like a friend around you is like really important to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Like even exercising, if you have a friend that says let's go on a jog every morning, you would go because that friend is like waiting for you.
Right. But like, okay, what if no one's waiting for you? Like no one.
Yeah.
No one is telling you to start that business.
Yeah.
No one's telling to do that, right? But I have a solution. Like I kind of I learned about this in a different, I don't know where I learned it, but it's like a technique that you can use. It's like, so like, I feel like for people pleasers, you want to make others happy all the time, right? So those kinds of people, they always want to do something for others. So at the end of the day, you don't have time for yourself to do the things, right? So like I never had the time to make videos that I wanted to post or like start that business that I've always wanted to do. But then I learned that if you actually take your work as like a client work. So recently I'm like, oh yeah, so Misa Mosa, Misa, like this person called Misa Mosa wants to make videos. I should make videos for her, right? By tomorrow.
So you made an imaginary friend.
I have an imaginary friend. I'm like, oh yeah, she needs a video up on YouTube every week. And she does subtitles, she needs subtitling, she needs thumbnails, she needs all of this. So she needs a video every week, So I need to do it for her.
Right.
That's how I kind of take this YouTube thing now. Because I was so inconsistent with a lot of the things. And I still am for many different things. But if you want to really change or when you really need to do something, you gotta, I was like, I need to make this client Misa Mosa. Yeah. She needs me every week.
You always say bye Misa Mosa team. Right?
Yeah, bye Misa team. Yeah.
Misa
I am I'm the only person
Yeah.
on the team, but I just imagine that I have a team that I have to feed or like I have to take care of, so that I am like doing the stuff that I need to do. I was talking to mom and I was like, sorry, I gotta make videos for Misa. She needs a video by tomorrow. So see you, like I need time.
Or else you'll be talking to her forever.
I'll be talking to my mom forever. Yeah. Isn't that a good way of thinking though?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Do you guys? Yeah.
Like having a friend is good, but also like just creating one is also
creating
great.
that imaginary person is so cool. Yeah. It like helped me like do the stuff that I really need to do. Yeah. So friend or an imaginary person. So another reason why we don't become spectacular, extraordinary is this. Circle of influence. The people around you, right? Where I don't know if you guys heard like the average 5 people around you are like make who you are, right? That's true. Do you feel it?
I think so.
I think it's true. I cannot guarantee it's true, but I think it's true, right? Do you guys feel it? So I always try to think like, who am I hanging out with? You know, who am I putting my time to?
This is not saying that like the people around you have a mediocre life, right? It's just saying that you have this type of like lifestyle that you imagine, and does that fit with other people around you? Right.
So when I was working at my former company, I really looked around, and it's not saying that I didn't want to, you know, like I didn't like them or anything like that. It's just like I just imagined a life different. Like a little different from them. Like when I looked at my boss, like I was like, I don't know if I want to be you in 4 years, you know, but that's the path that I would be, right? If you really see it, I'm a so realistic person. I'm like never so realistic, but if realistically thinking about that, if I keep on doing this and if I keep on people pleasing my boss, I'm going to be like him,
right?
You know?
Yeah. Good thing you quit.
But it's like, I'm not saying that like, you know, having a corporate job or something is not a good idea, but it's like seeing what kind of environment you're in is really important. Work-wise and also in your private life too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think private life, like for example, like you want to speak English a lot. You want to be talking to people in English or traveling abroad, but your friends are all, you know, not really into learning English or, you know, like just like the values are different. They want to hang out more and just, you know, have a good life.
Yeah.
You want to study and you want to do more. And like, that's just like a
gap.
Yeah.
It's a gap.
So if you hang out with those types of people, I feel like for me, I felt like, oh, I'm just going to hang out with them, you know?
Right.
Like, and then I just kind of forget about all the things that I wanted to do. And I like, you know, you just kind of
like
go with the flow, and then you won't do the things. And I just felt like I need to be around people who are creating or who I don't know, values the same values, you know, have the same values.
And also the same energy too for life. Like, I forgot what I was going to say. This happens and then we cut it usually like on YouTube, but let's go to the next one.
Yeah, but this is important.
Oh wait, this is really important. Yeah. Thank goodness I wrote stuff today.
Yeah. What'd you write?
I think like the one that I really resonated was who you're with.
Who you surround yourself.
A lot of like CEOs, like the people, I don't really know a lot of CEOs, but people who have their own companies or who have their own businesses, they always tell me like who you are taught from, all these business practices is really important, or like who you spend your time. And time equals like life, right? I don't want to be so deep, like 時間イコール命みたいな. That's like deep and heavy, but it's true, right? When I was learning about all these from these life coaches online, I was just like listening to podcasts all the time. And I think Oprah Winfrey she's like a entertainment like star in the States. And she said, the only thing that you don't get back is time, right? You can get back money even if you're scammed $100,000, you can get that money back. But time is something that you don't get back.
Yeah.
Right? The 34 weeks that we have left.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not gonna
come back.
Yeah, it's not gonna come back. Like the time that we have hit those snooze buttons, not gonna come back.
Sadly.
That's so sad.
But I think, so for me, I feel like I love to be around people who are doing things a lot.
Right. Creating, active.
Yeah. So like you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I like you too.
Yeah. I feel like every time I talk to you, I'm like motivated to do something.
Yeah. Whenever you come to my house, you're always drawing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I make you
great.
tea. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I see that you're...
It's great synergy here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's go. A lack of personal development. This is so big, I think. When I first was so lost in life, I think I was 23. Yeah, I started working when I was 21. And then I think the end of 22, when I was hitting 23, I got so lost in life. Have you guys heard of like quarter life crisis? Yeah, we have midlife crisis. I heard, when you hit 50, you're like, oh, what should I do with life? Your kids are all gone. But no one told me about this like quarter life crisis. I was like, parents, like, why didn't you tell me about this? And then that's when I started to think like, okay, I'm not going anywhere, right?
Right.
But I thought it was something in my mind. Something was hindering me, like preventing me from thinking in a way that will make me successful or like make me more happy. Does that make sense? Like something like here was not right for me. And so that's why I was like, I can't be talking to mom. I can't be talking to Yuka. Like I want to, but it's just so personal and I'm just looping around. So I was like, I need to hire like a professional person who can teach me how to think. Does that make sense? Like how to think in a way that will make me happier, like make me successful, and like make me find what I wanted to do. Because when I was lost, I didn't even know what I liked to do. I was like, what do I like to do? Have you guys ever felt that way? It's like, what do I like? People are like, find your passion. Follow your passion. Like, what is passion?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Like, what is it? Like, so I needed to think.
Your passion is like a little bit stronger always.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you're like, I want to do this, and then like you do it. I'm more like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But then also it's because like this like urgency. I was like, I thought my life ended when I was 30.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a very short life. It's
why?
I don't know. I just didn't know like what I would plan after 30. So I was like, I don't know why it's a big number. And I don't think it's a big number. Like I think it's just a number that we hit and then we experience different things after 30, right? But but like when I was like 23 or something, I was like, I only have 7 years in my life to do like what I need to do kind of thing. So I was like, I need to do this like ASAP.
Right.
And so I think that like this like limited time helped me to feel really urgent. But I don't think like 30 is like not a big number or anything like that. It's not. Like now that I see it, like every age and every year is so special in its own way, because when you're 30 you can like talk about different things, right? That you learned in your 20s. If you feel like, oh, we only have 34 weeks in this life, do you feel like a sense of urgency? I felt it because we're all given 24/7, like 24 hours in a day, right? And then you have to keep on running and to achieve things, right?
That's true. I feel like I set myself like, oh, I live until I'm 80 years old, so I have a lot of time.
You're like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm gonna be here
a lot
until
of time.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I like it's until 30. That's like a different mindset, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then also like with YouTube even, I was like, I'm gonna do this for 10 plus years. I love it, right? But like Dad was like, you should probably set a time limit.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, right, I should probably do that. Like in order to like speed up your growth, right?
Yeah, time limit.
That's what I mean. Time limit is really important.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so this is like the message. This is great. We always like try to wrap things up. This is the message. Glad we wrote it because we want to be the top 5%. Like if 95% don't achieve what they really want in life, I was like, why not this podcast family be a family who achieves the top 5%?
Yeah.
Right? By not doing the 7 things that we just did. It's so hard, but it is something that we can all like aim for, right? As like this family of great achievers.
Right.
Because we have this saying YOLO. Have you heard of it? YOLO. Like, you only live once. We use it in a funny way kind of thing.
Right.
But seriously, you only live once. And I was like, why not make the most of it? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I was reading that.
Oh, yeah, you were reading that?
I was like,
You're already ahead because you determined to developing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write that?
I wrote that.
Okay.
I think you wrote that.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I think I think this podcast too. I think we talk about a lot of psychological things, something that might help you in your lives, and I think we're a group of people who can aim for that top 5%. I'm gonna wrap this up, but when I first said to a coworker, I want to be able to do a work that I love. That's what everyone says, right? And she told me, yeah, that's what everyone says, but it's hard. Right. And then I read somewhere that only 1%.
Oh, it's getting
narrower. Only 1% can achieve that. But then, so she was like, yeah, only 1% can achieve that, so it's really hard. But I was like, but why can't I be in the 1%? Right? Why can't I? I need to be in the 1% kind of thing. We don't need to be that passionate about it. But I think it's cool to aim higher, right? It's cool to aim higher. And it's cool to be able to say that you love what you do. Because when you love what you do, you can spread that to other people. And then you can really be of help to others because you're already fulfilled in that way. We have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Do we know that Maslow right? To realize self-actualization. I think that is what that's our need, right, as human beings. And if we don't achieve that while we're living, as I always say, I want to be able to achieve that while I'm living, not in my next life, not in my next life, but this life will be really great, right? This life will be really great, right?
I'm trying to do that.
Yeah? Are we all trying to do this? Yay? Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just
it's a great time to reflect on all these causes and then trying to readjust,
Yeah.
For me, I'm just trying to readjust so that I can create this successful life. And success for me is like you said, loving my job, wanting to wake up every day to do the things that I want to do and to make people happy and others happy. That's such a rich, successful life.
I know.
So to do that, I got to just reflect on all the things that we just talked about and then just realign.
Yeah, there's no smooth line from A to B. You can do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can always adjust. Every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I always change my goals a lot. And I think that's okay because you're always changing. And then that means you're always evolving. Evolving is so great. Even with for me content, I need to evolve. You need to change things up so that you can discover new parts of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Are we pretty good with our message?
I think we're good.
Are we pretty good?
It was kind of long.
Yeah, it was kind of long.
But I always say that.
But thank you so much for listening until the very end. I hope you guys are having a great day.
And a great life.
And I'll see you guys in my next video podcast. All right. Thank you so much.
I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just want to make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I want to kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel